With blockbusters like Gears of War and Uncharted setting lofty benchmarks for the cover-based shooter genre, other developers are forced to come up with some fresh ideas in order to get noticed. Square Enix's Mindjack seeks to stand out from the pack with a unique gameplay mechanic that allows you to leave your body and take control of other characters in a firefight. Unfortunately, promising ideas are wasted thanks to sloppy execution in almost every facet of the experience. You'll go out of your mind alright, but mostly due to frustration. At first glance, Mindjack looks like any other generic sci-fi shooter set in the near future. While similar games in recent times, such as Vanquish, have impressed with an abundance of eye candy, Mindjack features firefights in locations that are each as dull and indistinguishable from the next. Lighting effects are simplistic, textures are flat, animation is subpar, and the character models are incredibly plain. The game's two main characters, Jim and Rebecca, are caught in a plot that revolves around the fall of world governments and the rise of evil corporations and mind control. But you'll struggle to care, as the narrative is conveyed by confusing flashbacks and cutscenes that contain some of the worst dialogue and voice acting of this generation.
I need to get inside.
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 Mindjack copies and pastes its core gameplay direct from the Gears of War template. You can roadie run, snap to cover, blind fire and dive roll, but that's where any similarities with Epic's flagship series end. A general lack of polish prevents the actual shooting from being consistently enjoyable. The targeting controls feel stiff, the weapons are stock standard and the melee attacks lack impact. Worse still, the clunky cover system often has you shooting into cover rather than around it. So it's a good thing you've got a couple of mind control gimmicks at your disposal. First is the Mind Slave ability. Attack an enemy until they're down but not completely out, and you get the option to turn them against their fellow foes. From there you can either use them as distractions, or activate your second mind control ability, the Mindjack, to leave your body and take control of one of your minions firsthand. The only problem is that the switching between characters is both sluggish and frequently disorientating. And besides, there's no major gameplay benefit for doing it. There are no puzzles to solve or stealth sections in which an enemy disguise would be beneficial. In fact, the only time you really need to use the Mindjack is when your main character is incapacitated and you need to heal them. Although if you've always wanted to step into the shoes of a demented, gun-strapped future monkey, then you're in luck! Meanwhile, boss fights are often completely counterintuitive. Take these twin mechs for example. Rather than study their movement patterns and identify their weak spots like you would in a traditional boss battle, you instead ignore them completely and take care of all the ground troops around them until the mechs spontaneously explode in a cutscene. I mean, does this make sense to anyone? Mindjack's only noteworthy feature is its 6-player online mode, which allows other players to jump into your campaign and either fight alongside you or against you like Agent Smith in The Matrix. It's definitely a cool idea, but Mindjack is so fundamentally flawed on a base level that it's really unable to do the concept justice. If it wasn't for the instant multiplayer mode that will hopefully be copied by more accomplished games, Mindjack would never be spoken of again. With its ham-fisted story, attritional firefights and poorly implemented character swapping gimmick, Mindjack will give you a serious headache. For more on Mindjack, be sure to check IGN.com.